I was watching Jeff Teague's 520 podcast, and they said Cade Cunningham is due to have his own shoe. Standing ovation. Standing ovation. Now, I start thinking about basketball players who had good shoes and basketball players who had bad shoes. Now, I'm a Cade Cunningham fan. I'm a Detroit Pistons fan. My two favorite players on the Detroit Pistons is Cade Cunningham and my boy Beef Stew. And so I'm going to buy Cade Cunningham shoes. I don't like spending more than $80 on shoes. So if Cade drops some shoes and they $100, I might buy them. But I don't like spending more than $80 and $70 on shoes. But I think I'm going to go down the list. And let me know if y'all agree or disagree. And in the comments below, drop y'all favorite basketball shoes that ever dropped out. First, I got to go Michael Jordan's. And I think they the 11s with the white, with the patent leather black at the bottom. Those are my favorite basketball shoes. Then I got to go... I got to go to pennies. Those first pennies, I thought those was hard. Those Barclays, I thought those was hard. I like the Scottie Pippens, even though I never had a pair of the Scottie Pippens. I like those. I had them green shine Kemps, those Reeboks. They was heavy, but I like those. I think Ewing's, now they too big and too heavy. They wasn't good basketball shoes, but they was popular back in the days. The Ewing's was popping. The glove, he had the whole glove over the shoes. Those was cool. I didn't mess with the Karl Malone LA Gear light ups. I didn't like those. I never liked the Shaqs. I didn't like the Matumbos. I think those was Adidas. Grant Hill had great shoes. Them Feelers, those was dope. The AIs was dope. Those was Reeboks. AIs was good. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But I wanted some Brooks so bad back in the days. Those was Dominique shoes. They were so ugly. And I never got them. I wanted them, but I couldn't get them. The Reebok pumps. They wasn't D Brown shoes, but D Brown made them popping in a dunk contest. And in 1991, he kept pumping the shoes, and Aaron Murray did the blindfold dunk. And I remember, I had asked for them. I ain't gonna tell that story. I'm gonna tell that story. So my father, right? He was my basketball coach at Pickett. A lot of people didn't even know he was my father because, like, he really didn't spend time, with his kids or really was that type of dad. But he was a coach. He was a pillar in the neighborhood, And so he was my basketball coach. I called him Coach Fine. So only players even know he was my coach was like Dante. So anyway, Fine, all the kids on our team had Reebok pumps, right? And so Coach Fine, I'm going to say Coach, my father, I had to grow up, and not holding on to all that right now. But my father, he's like, I'm going to buy you some shoes. Never bought me a pair of shoes in my life. So I'm excited. Like, I'm about to get the Reebok pumps. Everybody got the pumps, airing them out. And so I had these shoes. This before my cousin E blew up in a dope gang. So once my cousin E, so I'm 10 at the time. So E like 15, 14. So he wasn't already rich yet. So he ain't had the money to buy all the kids' school clothes. But once he hit about 15, 16, he started buying us clothes. So my gear kind of changed. So this one, my mama still had to buy my clothes. So I had a pair of Nikes where my toes was literally coming out the shoes. For real, like it was too little. And so I was still like, that's before E blew up. So my father looking at my toe coming out my shoes, like, I'm gonna get you some shoes. So I'm like, everybody like, oh, you about to get those Reebok pumps. And they're like, Coach Fonz, your dad? I'm like, yeah, you about to give me the Reebok pumps. And so they cracking on me every day about my toe coming out my shoes. So I open up the locker. Man, it's a big buddy. Man, it's a big buddy, man, a big biscuit, boy. I'm 10. I'm like 5'1". Man, it's like a size 11, bro. A big buddy, a big pro wing. I'm like, I ain't wearing those. He said, I'll take these back. Get my little $19. And, I'm embarrassed. Everybody cracking on me. And so you had to be careful with kids. You couldn't say stuff in front of kids as a parent back in the day because it was, man, they going to light you up, boy. And you ain't have thick skin. You would want to drop out of school. So he brought this big buddy to practice. I ain't wearing those. And right at that part, I'm really done with Coach Fines. Like, for real, I ain't. Look at the nigga, man. They want to embarrass me by this big buddy. And then the next day he came, he had the shoes on, he wrote fines on. I'm like, man, this nigga bought them for himself. And so my mama was like, my mama was mad. And so I think she got the money from my Aunt Linda and my Aunt Jen. They bought me the Reebok pumps. And so I love the Reebok pumps. Man, I'm going on and on. I'm supposed to be talking about Cade shoes. But yeah, when Cade dropped these shoes, I'm going to buy them for real. I'm going to get them to support Detroit basketball. So in the comments below, let me know your favorite basketball shoes. And I'm out.